afternoon. Let's look at page 201, question number 18. Now here we're dealing with a radical that has a whole bunch of other things going on. But let's start out with our domain. We know our domain has to be the part underneath the square root greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to add 5 to both sides. That's going to give me x greater than or equal to 5. So I'm going to pick some values that are going to be nice. I'm going to have 5. 5 minus 5 would give me 0. Then I'm going to pick 6 because 6 minus 1 would give me 1. I'm going to have something that gives me 3. So if I did 14 minus 5 would be 9, and 9 squared of 9 would give me 3. And then if I pick something that gives me 4, so I want to have 16 underneath there, so 21. So let's just do those 4 problems. We don't need to do much more than those. So if I plug 5 in here, I'm going to have a negative 4. Square root of 5 minus 5 plus 1. So that's going to give me a negative 4 times 0 plus 1. So since that's gone, we just get 1. So now if we do a negative 4, square root of 6 minus 5 plus 1. So that's going to give me a negative 4 plus 1. Gives me a negative 3. And then I'm going to plug 14 in. Negative 4, 14 minus 5 plus 1, which gives me a negative 4 square root of 9 plus 1. So that's going to give me 3. So 3 times that would be a negative 12 plus 1 would be a negative 11. And then if I did negative 4 square root of 21 minus 5 plus 1, it's going to give me a negative 4 square root of 16 plus 1. So that's going to give me 4. 4 times 4 would be a negative 16 plus 1, which would give me a negative 17. So all my y values are negative, so I would say that my range is y less than or equal to 1. So that's one part of it. That was my domain. So now let's look at our graph. We're going to have 5, 1, then 6. Oh, 5, 1, got the wrong place. 6, negative 3, and then out here we've got 14, call this a negative 11, and then we've got 21 over here, call this a negative 17. So if you look at this, it goes down really fast and it kind of slows down as it heads out, and that's our graph for 18. Now let's look at 21. So here we have the function h of x equals a negative 3 third root of x plus 7 minus 6. Now here, because we have a third root, we're going to find our middle value by taking the root of what's underneath here. So x plus 7 equals 0. So subtract 7. So we know that x can be equal to 7. That's going to be the middle of our domain. So pick negative 6, negative 4, negative 3, and then negative 8, negative 9, negative 10. Here I didn't pick nice ones. I should have done that, but I guess I'll have to use my calculator. So let's use a negative 3 inside of it. Although I'll start with negative 7. So if I have a negative 3 third root of a negative 7 plus 7 minus 6. So that's going to give me a negative 3 times 0 minus 6. Which will give me a negative 6. Let's plug in the negative 6. So I have a negative 3 third root of a negative 6 plus 7 minus 6. That's going to give me a negative 3 third root of 1 minus 6. That's going to give me a 1, negative 3 minus 6. So that'll give me a negative 9. These are actually going to be symmetric, so I know that one's going to be because if I plug in a negative 8, I'm going to get a negative 1 underneath there, and the negative 1 times that would be, no, that's not negative 9 at all. Let's plug it through. So if I plug in a negative 8, I have a negative 3, third root of a negative 8 plus 7 minus 6. So that's going to give me a negative 3 times a negative 1, because a negative 8 plus 7 is a negative 1, and the third root of a negative 1 is negative 1 minus 6. So that's going to give me 3 minus 6, which would give me a negative 3. Or I thought it was going to be symmetric. Let's look at negative 9. We have a negative 3, third root of a negative 9, plus 7 minus 6. This is going to be negative 3, third root of a negative 2 minus 7. So I'm going to use my calculator to figure out that, because that's going to be some weird thing. So this. That is not the way I expected it to be. Plot the negative. I think it's going to give me this. Because if I know I take the third root of a negative 1, when I take a negative that comes out, so that's going to give me 3 third root of 2 minus 6. See if I can plug that into my calculator and not have it vomit. So that's going to give me 2.218. That was with a negative 9. So here they keep getting positive. Let's pick negative 10. So I have a negative 3, third root of a negative 10 plus 7 minus 6. So a negative 3, third root of a negative 3 minus 6. So I can factor out my negative 1 and say 3, third root of 3 minus 6. So now let's figure out what that number is. Take the third root of, that was not what I wanted. Take the third root of 3 and multiply that by 3. And subtract 6. That made me think that I did something wrong on that one. Maybe that was supposed to be a negative 2. Because this gave me a negative 1.67. I might go back through and figure this one out. Because I know that I took a negative 1 out, and that multiplied by that to give me 3. So if I take the third root of 2, and I multiply that times 3, and I subtract 6, negative 2.2. I did have the wrong thing for that. Negative 2.2. Okay, let's figure out what these values are. If I plug in a negative 3, third root of a negative 4 plus 7 minus 6. That's going to give me a negative 3, third root of 3 minus 6. So I'm going to take the third root of 3 and then multiply that by a negative 3 and then subtract 6. It's giving me 1 point. That can't be right. Okay, so I'm taking the third root of 3, multiplying that by a negative 3, and subtracting 6. let's plug in the -3. -3, third root of a -3 plus 7 minus 6. So that's going to give me the third root of 4 minus 6. And the third root of 4 is still kind of an ugly number. So let's find the third root of 4. And then multiply by a -3. And then subtract 6. Gives me a -10.76. Okay, so we're going to have to graph that on the next page since obviously we've run out of space. So let's look at that to begin with. We have -7, -6. Page. So we have -7, -6. Be the first thing we're going to plot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -7, -6. If I look at -6, -9. So -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I do that right? -7, -6. And then -6, -9. Okay, so -6, -9. Go back over here. We have -8, -3. So that's -8. 1, 2, 3. -3. So you can kind of see that you're getting the S shape, so we know we did this thing right. Okay, so we did that one, and that one, and that one. We have -4, -10 3/4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, -10 and some bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be down here like that. So we've got that. -3, -10 and 7, 6. It's going to be a little bit more, so -3. So 1, 2, 3. That's 11, so it's going to be closer to that. And then if we look at the other two, -9, -2.2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, -2.2. So that's going to be, that should be down a little bit further. It's probably somewhere like that. And then -10, -1.67. So -10, -1.67. So now let's kind of graph our S-shaped thing. So it goes out there forever, out there for forever. Have a great day. Bye-bye.